Namaste, this is François Gauthier. Today I'm going to talk about democracy. Now I know that Indians are very proud of their democracy, and it is said that India is the biggest democracy in the world. It is both a cliche and a reality. But in my humble opinion, democracy in India has been hijacked. On the one hand, it's been hijacked. On the other, there's an excess of democracy in India. It is as if, Indians, when they were colonized by the British, after India became independent in 1947, Indians wanted to prove to the world that they were more democratic than the democratic countries. And it's the case today. We can see it in the results of the Haryana election, where you have a very small party, with got very limited number of seats. And these parties are the kingmakers, They're going to decide who's going to become the next chief minister of Haryana. And we know very well, I know very well, because I have witnessed it during my years as a journalist, that these parties extract their pound of flesh. Not only they bargain for, ministerships, but they also bargain for money, for cash. It is a door open to corruption. I remember in the Lok Sabha many years ago, there was a small tiny party. I think it got 3 or 4 seats, from Jharkhand. And they had accepted a big bribe to, support the Congress during a motion vote, trust motion vote. And they all came drunk in the Lok Sabha, with such a shameful spectacle. There's also a very small party of Mr. Ajit Singh, who for decades, with 3, 4 MPs, were kingmakers. So this is called hijacking of democracy. There is also in India the fact that elections happen all the time, again in the name of democracy. And if you're prime minister or chief minister, after a year or two, where you have ruled, you have to have an eye on the next election, or you have to go campaigning for the next election. So you're losing, wasting your time, wasting the time of your people who have elected you. Corruption against calm, because elections means big money in India. You need to spend a lot of money. You need to have a caravan of, 50 to 100 cars. You need to distribute, give to the people, whether it is, not openly like alcohol and 100 rupees or 500 rupees to come and attend rallies, or whether it is openly in the form of laptops or, sewing machines or saris, huge amounts of money. So, and these money are not permitted. So you need to have this money in black. In spite of Mr. Modi's demonetization, today political parties still deal in black. So there has to be something to streamline, to reduce this democracy, I would say. This excess of democracy in India. Have elections simultaneous, have less elections, make donations to party open. Party can receive as much money as they want, provided that it is white money. There needs to be a huge reform. There's an excess of democracy in India. We need to reduce it. The Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, needs to streamline democracy. It's also something that came out of colonization, an inferiority complex. Why does India need to prove to the world that it is democratic? It was democratic much before the world. There were republics in India much before they happened in the West. In the West, republics happened mostly after the French Revolution in the 18th, 19th century. But in India, the father of Buddha, it said that he was elected. So India has nothing to show, nothing to prove to the world. So we need to streamline democracy in India. We need to reduce the amount of democracy in India. Namaste.